Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is November 2nd, 2022, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Google stock makes new record lows for the year. But first, major economic events for today, 8 p.m. South African time. Be there or be square. FOMC Rate Statement, probably the biggest number of the year as we're going into the balance of the last quarter. Now, looking at the Forex symbols before this major number, major pairs pretty much trickle lower while we're looking at the indices. The Dow Jones steady while the NASDAQ is unchanged. Looking at commodities, gold is unchanged while oil gained to $89 a barrel. Now, looking at the stocks, Facebook, Microsoft, and Google all trading lower. Lastly, looking at Bitcoin, it's steady above 20K. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're going to start with the Euro USD, not because it's the biggest pair happening right now, just because it's trickling lower. It is a very important currency, so I like to cover it on a regular basis. We found some footing at 98.70-ish level, so that's 0.9870-ish level. So just realize that as we're just trickling lower before this major number coming out of the United States. I'm looking at the other ones, also slightly lower versus the dollar. If we look at the GBP, very slightly lower there. If we look at the Japanese yen, that one is actually considerably lower, okay, as it's taken that side upwards. Now looking at the Australian dollar, really unchanged there as well. So the markets are really digesting and waiting for this FOMC rate statement to come out. Now looking at commodities, first let's look at oil. Hitting $89 a barrel at resistance. So I do think it's going to break this area and not continue trading higher and going to close lower. Now looking at gold, pretty much unchanged from day to day, 1653 right now. We were trading at 1650 yesterday, so it's really not big of a deal. Now looking at the US markets, all right, first starting out with the Dow Jones, 32,700. Now we've been in about a 500-600 point range as this is really just digesting this information for today. Now on a daily, we're above the 200-day moving average. If we look at a weekly, we made a V formation there, and that is clear that that's where it's at. Now I presume if we're going to sell off, we're going to sell off somewhere to the middle range, okay, as this is becoming, as it's making its correctional move. Now looking at the NASDAQ, didn't do much, 11,361. But if we look at the stocks, they're breaking lower. Google, new lows for the year at $90.48. If you look at Microsoft, also just sold off and at the bottom of the range. Okay, so it's not pretty. Facebook also on the bottom of the range of $95. So when we look at the tech stocks, it's not pretty. Okay, however, when we look at the bank stocks, let's look at JP Morgan. Broke that 200-day moving average on a daily also. That's really important news there as it's making its comeback. Now, this could all turn on a dime, literally on a dime, if the FOMC starts saying some cautionary information about moving forward as we're taking this all in. So just be aware of that, okay? As we're going into the latter part of today and the latter part of the year for that matter, a lot of things are, being digested by the markets. So keep that in mind. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, trading at 20,413, just really steady above this area, but not doing much. I mean, if we look at it daily, it's just really just grind. So hasn't really broken out, hasn't developed into any kind of character because, well, volume is low. Okay, so until we got volume to perk up and, for Bitcoin to develop some sort of character, we're going to be trading very choppy there. So this is Fred Razak. Again, I know I'm gonna backtrack here. It's a big economic day today. Expect a lot of volatility. Really just expect, just be prepared for yourself, okay? Just to take the precautions if you need be. Yes. Have a great trading day.